What is going on, everybody? Hey, Avery Hamilton here, and it is Mindset Monday. I am here in South Carolina in Hilton Head. I'm on vacation. It's raining. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's see if you can see. It's pouring. You can probably hear it. So it's not the best of weather today, but it's fun. We're having a good time with family, and that's what matters. So today's Mindset Monday is the Power of Boke, right? I want to talk a little bit about that. Let's turn this light back on. There it is. I want to talk a little bit about the Power of Boke because I think it's a very, very important mentality to have when you're just starting out, or even when you can use it in any phase of your business, really. And what is the Power of Boke? So the Power of Boke, actually, there's a book by Daymond, and I read it on the car ride down, and it's actually the second time I've read it. And so I want to talk about really two lessons that I learned from it, and then really how you can implement them into your business or your life currently. And so the first lesson that I took away was that being broke will allow you to leverage resources that others see as problems or issues. You see them as a resource instead of an issue. And what does this mean, right? So you see, look at Ken Shamrock, right? Ken Shamrock needed to go and dumpster dive to get food for his family because they're, immigrant people and they had no money, no food. He had to find resources in where people see issues in it, right? And, so looking for the opportunity where people see issues is important because sometimes you just don't have the money. You don't have the resources to go and utilize all the technology that everyone else has, or, all the successful companies have, or, people who are wealthiest or whatever. And, there's a saying that says necessity is the mother of all inventions. And you need something. If you need something, then, you need to go make it. You need to go find it. You need to figure out how it's going to work for you. And so so the first lesson, it basically just allows you to focus on the things that nobody else wants to use. Look, Daymond John, dyslexic, he didn't know how to draw, didn't know how to write. Like, he started FUBU, a clothing brand, multi-billion-dollar clothing brand, not knowing how to draw, right? But he knew how to stitch a straight line because his mom was a seamstress. So he knew how to stitch a straight line, and that's how he learned. That's how he created FUBU, right? He didn't have that skill initially, but he learned it, didn't know how to draw, but he knew how to stitch, so he stitched. He used that resource where other people would say, oh, you don't know how to draw, you can't create a clothing brand. He knew how to stitch, so he can make a clothing brand, right? So necessity is the mother of all invention. And lesson number 2 that I took away from Power of Boke is that there's no better time to start a business than now. And the reason for it is simply because technology is becoming increasingly cheaper by the day. As more and more products come on the market, as more and more technology comes on the market, it's more readily available for you. And you can go start a blog, lifestyle blog, a book blog, a food blog, a fitness blog, whatever, on free platforms like Medium or Blog or whatever, free, right? Or you can do it on your Facebook, you can do it on your Twitter, you can do it on your YouTube, all for free. All these platforms are there for you to utilize in the interim while you have no money. And so creating a business is cheaper by the day. And there's free software out there. Maintaining a website is increasingly cheaper than it used to be. I mean, you can utilize platforms like Wix. Even a caveman can do a website on Wix. WordPress is not very challenging. You don't need like a mental aptitude to create a website or sell products, or you can start an Etsy page. You can start an Amazon affiliate page. You can do all of these things because it's so cheap to start a business these days. Maybe it's not your real estate investing practice that you want. But look, these smaller businesses are ways for you to leverage that platform to grow into your real estate investment firm or your financial investment firm, or maybe you're just interested in throwing a ton of cash into stocks and bonds and everything else, mutual funds and whatever. Those smaller businesses, utilizing the power of Boke, will leverage you to get there and put that money into those investments, into that secondary company, which eventually can become your primary company, depending on how hard you work. So guys, the power of Boke really is just leveraging the resources you have now to create what you are looking for in the future. And it's becoming increasingly cheap. So if you don't have a business now and you want to create a business, today's your day to start a business. It's practically free to start a business. There is really not a lot of overhead with a lot of these businesses. And, I've met some pretty crazy business people who started their business for free. And, you can start off $40, you can start off $50, whatever you have. There is a platform, there is an opportunity out there for you. You just need to find the resource and the opportunity in the problems that other people see. Being resourceful, being an entrepreneur, being an immigrant with it. And so before we get off, right, look, Steve Jobs sold his car to create the first Apple products. He sold his car. Now, Russ, right, the rapper Russ, hip-hop artist, Russ, he uploaded music for 10 years on SoundCloud and YouTube and whatever, just to create the platform that he has now. 10 years on SoundCloud, on those free platforms. And Michael Dell didn't know how to use computers himself, so he figured that he would create a computer that is user-friendly for people like him. So once again, necessity is the mother of all invention. So with that, guys, look, it's definitely a mindset. You need to have the power of Boke in your head, utilizing resources that other people see are issues. So take that into the rest of the week. I'll see you guys on Thursday Throwdown. Hopefully the weather here clears up a little bit. It's starting to die down a little bit, but it's going to rain all day. But it's warm. I'm walking around in shorts and a t-shirt, so I'll take that as a win. And I'm still running my business from South Carolina when my business is in New York. So take that into your guys' week. Hope everybody has a fantastic Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll see you guys back on Thursday.